wish I would have done that. Oh, I have goosebumps right now when I say this.
I'm gonna get emotional.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Lambton College's school sync sessions. So tonight we are live from our fire school. We're live on location from Lambton College's fire school. Tonight is all about our fire science programming. We have two amazing programs in our School of Fire Sciences, our pre-service firefighter and our fire science technology. So if you are looking at fire programming, tonight is definitely going to be the best night to see what our fire students are doing, what they're capable of, and all of the opportunities that await for them upon graduation. So my name's Sean. I am the Enrollment Initiatives Coordinator for the college. I will be hosting you this evening and walking you through the agenda. I am joined with a number of our faculty members as well as our students from the fire school tonight, and they're going to really give you an inside look of a day in the life of our fire program and our fire students. So to kick things off, join me directly in the bay, the equipment bay. I have Trace. He is one of our students, one of our graduates. Welcome, Trace.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Awesome. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, talk to people about your experience at Lambton, talk to them about the programs that you're enrolled into and all that fun stuff.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Trace, and I am a graduate of the pre-service firefighting program, and I just completed the second year, which is the fire sciences program. I'm originally from Calgary, and I made the decision to move across the country to take the fire sciences program at Lambton College. You know, to me, I was just looking for the place I could get some of the best training. And, you know, Lambton definitely stood out. You'll see today all the resources that we have at our disposal. It was kind of a no-brainer for me. So my experience has been amazing here at Lambton, and even through the pandemic, they've really found a way to deliver a quality program in my eyes. So.
Awesome. And so what would be one of the reasons why you ultimately chose Lambton? Because obviously you traveled from outside of Ontario, outside of Sarnia. So what sealed the deal for you?
I think it's just all of the resources that we have, like I said, right? Like, you know, we have a hot tower, we have a cold tower, we've got multiple fire apparatus, ladder truck, engines, you know, some smaller engines like the one behind me, pumper, rescues. You're just kind of training on everything, right? Whereas, you know, some of the other fire programs, they were good, but they just weren't able to get up to that level. You know, Lambton College has their own building, right? Like the building we're in right now is off the main campus. It's its own entity, and it's built to kind of resemble an actual fire hall, a large version of a fire hall. So we've got, you know, classrooms, but we've also have a common area. We've got a cafeteria, and then you'll see later our fire towers with all the equipment that you're going to see when you're on the job. And you know, not to mention our instructors. Most of them are current full-time firefighters and fire chiefs. So, you know that the training you get's current on-the-job training.
That's awesome. And so you've completed pre-service, you completed fire science, you're still in Sarnia. So what are you up to right now?
Right now, I currently serve as a volunteer firefighter in the community of Point Edward, and I've been doing that for about 2 years now. And absolutely love it. It's something that was a lot more rewarding than I initially thought it would be. And you know, it's just you know, the sense of duty that you get from that, and the sense of pride that you take in being a member of the Canadian Fire Service has been something that, you know, I've cherished a lot and I take quite seriously. So, you know, again, the training that I got at Lambton has set me up very nicely for that.
That's awesome. And so obviously we have a number of potential students on the line today. What would you say would be your top tips as our new students are coming in September?
Sure.
What are some things that they should keep in mind as they begin the program?
Well, probably one of the main things is, you know, if you're looking for a fun program to take after high school, this is definitely a fun program, but it's not a walk in the park at all. You know, it's tough. There's a lot of academics that go into this, right? It's not just, you know, grab the fire hose and go put the fire out. It's a lot about understanding, you know, understanding that fire, how that fire got there, what are the chemical compounds that cause the fire, what are the reactions that are causing the fire, and you have to understand the the chemistry in firefighting, right? How are we going to put this fire out? Sometimes water makes things worse, you know? So for me, what I wish I knew coming into it was that I prepared a little bit more academically. I studied, and you know, if you're feeling like you're a little bit out of shape coming into the program, you're definitely going to want to, you know, get up to par. We do have a fitness class and a fitness instructor, and you know, she'll get you where you need to be if you take it serious. But you know, it never hurts to come prepared and you know, show the instructors that you're serious about this, because like I said, a lot of them are full-time firefighters and fire chiefs, and those could be your boss one day. So you're definitely going to want to impress them.
Awesome. No, that's great tips. And again, thanks for joining us this evening. So we're just getting started. Obviously, if anybody on the line tonight has any questions for anybody that you hear from tonight, feel free to post them in the comment section, and we will address those throughout the event. Kind of next up on the agenda is to hear from our Associate Dean, Andre Ouellette. So he is joining us from outside of the entrance of the fire school right now. So he's going to talk to you a little bit about the program, and then he's also going to do a live tour of our facility this evening as well. So Andre, over to you.
Hi, how's it going? My name is Andre Ouellette, and I am the Associate Dean of Lambton College Fire School. And thank you, Trace and Sean, for that introduction. I've got a few things to talk about. I mean, I hope you guys can stay with us for the next 50 minutes or so. We got a lot of things to do with you. We're going to give you a tour of the facilities. You already heard from Trace about his experience at the fire school. Professor Brown is going to show you some drone footage of a recent night fire, which is pretty cool. He's going to show you some video footage of an inside burn of our tower. Professor Patrick's going to talk about the FireFit team and the successes we've got there. I mean, we're one of the winningest teams in Canada. Then Professor Brown again will narrate a live training exercise with some students, so that's going to be pretty cool. And they're going to do a search vent enter search exercise using a second-story window prop and to rescue one of our mannequins, and then we're going to wrap up with some Q&A. So stay with us. We hope you can be here for the whole 50 minutes. There's lots to be said and heard. So what's September looking like? That's probably the main question on your mind. Well, let's talk about this year. We ran a full program, 140 students through our PFET and fire science program. All of the students were able to finish their complete skills. Like, we didn't lose any time on skills. We didn't have to change the program. We did it differently. We made it smaller groups. We did things a little bit safer, of course, with the COVID protocols. But and yes, some of the theory was online, but we were successful. Our students are still here now, finishing up their May, June. But overall, it was pretty much the same type of year you'd normally get. So the COVID hasn't put us back at all. And one of the reasons is, of course, we did the PPE, the masks, the social distancing, and we do a lot of it outside. So a lot of our stuff is on the ground. So we're going to take a tour of that in a little bit. You'll see what we're talking about. So what about this September coming up? Well, first thing I want to tell you is it's going to be another successful year. We're going to have all our students here at the fire school. We're going to be, and we anticipate, given the recent government announcements, that we're going to be right in class for all of our programs. And that's really what we're looking for, and that's what we're aiming for. Of course, those things are unknown, but that is our plan, and we're feeling really good about them. One of the new things this year I want to show is a new fire gear program for our students. All our first year students will be wearing brand new fire gear. So it's a brand new program. You're going to be looking sharp in that. Also this year is a brand new binder called our Records of Achievement binder. And in here, you're going to get all these certificates. And this is unique to Lambton College because these certificates, you're going to have your diploma and your certificate, your Ontario certificate, but you're also going to get your NFPA level 1, level 2, 1001, your 1072 awareness operations. You're going to get your 1035 level 1, level 2. You're going to get your public educator certificate. And then you're going to have a bunch of certificate of accomplishments that outline all the activities that you do here at the fire school. So you're going to end up with a stack of certificates that this is really going to be the building block for your resume. Hot tower training, night fire revolutions, nobody else does that. Industrial firefighting, nobody else can do that. We're the only fire school in Ontario with industrial training. Aerial high-rise operations, advanced pumping, traffic control and emergencies. These are all certificates that have a lot of value when you graduate after a 2-year program. So yeah, we want you to come to PFET, but if you're really serious about being a firefighter, then you want to consider the fire science program as well. So the few things about Lambton College that makes us very unique. First of all, we're the only college with a dedicated independent fire school campus. We're off of main campus. Main campus is about 15 minutes from here. We're right here at the fire school, and we're the only one like it in this province and probably the country. We're the only college with a second-year fire science. So like I said, if you're serious about being a career firefighter, you need to be in the first year and second year program. We have the most female students in the program than any other program in the college. We have all of our faculty, men and women, teaching the program are either career or volunteer active firefighters or recently retired. We have an incredible number of years of experience. So you're getting firefighters from Sarnia, from Lambton County, but from London, from Chatham, from Mississauga. They're coming from all over to teach at this school because we have such a unique program. We have a fleet of 7 emergency vehicles that Trace was mentioning. We were talking about, you know, the pumper, the tanker, the search and rescue vehicles. All of these vehicles are actual trucks that came from fire departments and from industrial fire departments, and they gave them to us so that our students, they donate to the college so our students can learn. And that equipment is relevant today, and it'll be relevant when you graduate. You're going to see a couple of hot towers, or a couple of towers out there. One is the search and rescue tower. You're going to do all kinds of search and rescue activities in there. Then we have the hot tower where we actually do real fires. We don't burn propane, we burn wood and paper and pallets. We burn true fires, and so we make some real heat there. And we're, as I mentioned earlier, we're the only college with an industrial pipe prop fire ground. We do huge fires on the industrial. And if you're going to be in a big city, at some point, you're going to want that industrial experience. The other thing that Professor Patrick's going to talk about is our winning fire combat challenge team. Huge successes in a year. I think the reigning Canadian champion is one of our graduates. I believe he's still a reigning champion. And also we have an annual school trip to New York City, where our students get to experience and visit the Ground Zero where the Twin Towers used to stand, and they visit the New York City Fire Department fire halls. Also unique to the college, we have a $2,500, we'd call it a brand new $2,500 Rick Fraser Memorial Bursary. So one lucky, hardworking student who shows dedication and leadership will be awarded this $2,500. And then we have a brand new bursary that we just unveiled this week, and it's the $1,000 Levitt Safety Bursary, which includes a backpack full of firefighter goods and, get ready for this, a stint at the Toronto Indy working with the Levitt Fire Safety Team. So putting out fires if they occur at the Toronto Indy. So that's a pretty cool chance to get, and it's unique to Lambton College. So now we're going to take a walk around the building. We'll show you what our fire school is all about, and introduce you to some other folks along the way, and show you what we got. So we're in the lobby, and down at the end of the hall, that's where we enter the apparatus space. So that's where Trace and Sean were at the beginning of this session. This is where this is where everybody comes in, and some of the activities are welcome center. And then upstairs is where most of our students will be most days. So we'll come up here. As you can see, it's big and bright and airy and feels like, you know, it's starting new. I mean, it was built in 2011. It feels fantastic. There's always nice light, daylight, and natural light in the building. So, you guys get to enjoy that. We have a couple of classrooms that divide into more classrooms. So as you can right now, because when we do have some classroom sessions, there's a maximum of 10 per class. So we've got these divided walls where we have some students on one side and some students on the other. And our teacher can stand in the middle and talk to both groups. So that's been working good for us this year. All of the classrooms have, of course, audiovisual and wireless internet, and everything is pretty much state of the art. We're into the office area where my office and the faculty are. We can peek into Mr. Brown's office. And here's another classroom where you see we have, it's all been set up for our emergency medical response training, which has been happening lately. So a lot of first aid, lots of equipment there to keep that program going. And then this is where you're gonna live for most of the year. I mean, live in terms of during the day for classes. This is our student lunchroom and our facilities there. Now to the, again, there's some more offices back here, and I'll take you all down to show our facilities. We're going to walk you through the gear room so you can see what that looks like. So this is what we call our training gear. So there's two sets of gear that you're going to wear over the course of the year. We've got the hot gear and then we got this older gear, which is just to wear when you're working on
Okay, so we're just going to take a quick pause. We have to connect with a different network as we go through the other parts of the fire school, but obviously you just saw a portion of our fire facility, and you'll see the rest in just a moment. We have an amazing fire ground that Andre will walk you through in just a second. So while you were doing that, Trace was filling me in on what he's about to do in September. So maybe you can talk to the audience about what your degree path looks like and the opportunities that exist from completing our program.
For sure. So recently was accepted into Purdue University's Bachelor of Science in Fire and Emergency Management. And originally that wasn't anything that I had in my mind. I never really saw myself pursuing a degree, but you know, Lambton kind of opened up a lot of avenues that I originally didn't see available for myself. You know, Purdue, they kind of held the diploma you get, the fire science diploma from Lambton, pretty highly and regarded it, you know, very well. So for me, that application process was quite short, and you know, it made me feel good to, you know, to know that okay, now it's legitimate that, you know, the career path that I'm choosing and the passion that I have in life, which is fire and, you know, firefighting, that I'm going to open up more options for myself. So
no, that's awesome, and I think it goes into a larger topic with a lot of our programs at the college where you can transfer your pathway if you go from diploma to degree, and honestly. For any of our programming, if you can take those transfer credits, you're going to get the hands-on skills that you learn in our programs. I mean, the hands-on skills you're getting at the fire school is worth so much experience that you're getting, and then you get the more theory education from the university. It's a really great partnership. And for me, from my perspective, especially looking at some of our graduates, especially on the business side, because obviously that's my side of the house, but I see students, and I'm on hiring panels, and when we have the panelist or the interviewee that has both the diploma and the degree, we see that they have the hands-on skill set plus the knowledge that they need, and it makes all the difference. So I think it's amazing that you have those transfer abilities, and I think it's a really great next step. So
I agree.
I'm excited to see where that takes you for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Okay, awesome. Well, that was a really good overview again, and we will back on the tour in just a moment. But in the meantime, I'm going to introduce you to another key player in our fire family, and that is Scott Brown. He is one of our faculty members, and he is going to talk to you a little bit more about the programs, and he has some videos he's going to show and narrate through. So Scott, take it away.
Sorry, we'll start over. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, everybody. It's always an awesome opportunity for us to showcase the program, showcase the facilities that we have. I know a lot of you may be on the fence with regards to whether or not you are going to join us in the fall because of the uncertainty, and I think that Andre addressed a lot of those issues with what our plans are and what we were able to accomplish this year, even though we had those COVID challenges, is probably the best way to put it. And I know some of you are joining us because we haven't been able to attend the traditional open house that we typically can put on for prospective students and students who've already accepted offers to see exactly what they're getting themselves into, exactly what their year is going to be like. And so it's going to be kind of a neat thing for us to show you some of those types of experiences that you're going to experience here at the college. As Andre pointed out, we have two streams with regards to your pathway into the career of firefighting, and the first one you have to complete is a pre-service year. And what sets us apart again is that we offer that advanced diploma if you stick around for a second year, and we could dive more deeply into some of these topics and provide you with more opportunities, more NFPA certifications to pad that resume as you go out into a very competitive field where there's a lot of pre-service graduates coming from other colleges every year into that same pool of candidates that fire departments are looking for. We're the only school that can offer you that next level in terms of some of those other additional certifications. And realistically, when you finish your first year and you're 18 or 19 years old, that's the time to put more education behind you and get the education component down pat before you go forward. When we do the open houses, we get a lot of questions from students and parents about what can my son or daughter do after their first year, and my answer is always come back for a second, because it's going to pay dividends for you down the road to set you apart and to put your resume at the top of the pile when you are going out and seeking a job in a municipal or an industrial setting as a firefighter or a fire protection personnel for an industrial setting. The past couple of weeks that we've been able to put together some awesome videos to capture what we do here that sets us apart. And I think the number one thing that sets us apart here is our facility. Second, a close second to that is our staff and the pride, the passion, the ownership that they bring to the classes that they teach every single day. Believe me when I tell you that the instructors that you have here at the end of a day on the fire grounds are as tired and as sweaty and as dirty as you are, because they want to get in there with you. And in a lot of cases, they've come off shift from the night before or the day before. They've performed these skills in real life that the same week that they are coming here and imparting that knowledge onto you. So I think that a combination of those two things really sets us apart from the other programs. The first video that I want to show you is some footage that we captured last week, things that our pre-service students are experiencing as they finish their year. And those are the kinds of experiences that you're going to start your second year with, and then we're going to build on. So I want to show you and sort of explain to you what you're watching as we go through this first video. And what it means and how it's different from what you can probably get at any other school. So we shot this video last week as our pre-service students were finishing up some of their live fire evolutions. This is footage of us going inside using a GoPro camera. You'll notice there's lots of smoke that you're not going to get with a propane-based fire. That's coming not only from the fuel that we're using, but we're also supplementing that with some artificial smoke as well. This is a look at what you would experience, what the students experience once they got to the top of the stairs of the second floor of our fire tower. These aren't little campfires; these are really good sized, trying to mimic what you're going to experience in a fire, a real structure fire, as much as possible. So the first images here are the camera person that was me. Just going to go down the hall so you can see what kind of fires we are having you deal with and manage in your first year. In your second year, these scenarios get a little more complicated. We add a little more smoke. We make the visibility a little more realistic in terms of the fact that a lot of times we can't see a whole lot inside of a structure fire. These first year fires are the ones where we're trying to hone in on the skills and make sure that we can, as instructors, observe how you as a student are performing inside the tower. Sometimes we have to use thermal imaging cameras just to be able to see what our students are doing inside the tower, because the conditions in there are so realistic with regards to the smoke and the visibility. So at this point of the video, the students have made entry into the building. They're coming across the floor below us and up a set of stairs. Shortly, you're going to see some water flowing from the students. One of the things that we want to teach them, and we start right from the beginning of their career, or your career here in September, is not just the how in terms of the skills, but also the why, and why are we doing things one way versus another? Why are we flowing water before we actually get to the seat of the fire, and why are we cooling as we go along the process? So I think that it's extremely important. It's incumbent upon us as your instructors to make sure you fully understand not just how to do something, but why we're doing it this way versus this way. As a professor who spends a lot of my time, the majority of my time, working with second year students, we get second year students who come in from colleges across Ontario. Once they've completed a pre-service program, whether it's here at Lambton or at a different college, they can apply into our fire science diploma program. And the number one thing that all of our students that come from other colleges say is, I wish I'd spent my first year here, because of the experience that we get. You are on the fire grounds here every time you're in a classroom. So we're going to take you out on the grounds. We're going to talk about a skill, and we're going to take you out and perform that skill. So now you can see our students have reached the top of the stairs. They're flowing water to cool the environment, to cool the area that they're about to enter, and using that reach of stream to knock some of that fire down, to get some cooling before they put themselves too close to it. You see our instructor who is walking. That's what sets them apart. The first individual on the hose line on the nozzle is actually the student. They're positioning themselves at the end of the hallway. They're going to use the reach of stream coming off that nozzle to knock that fire down before they move in and finish off that fire at the end of the hallway. The firefighter that's on the nozzle has probably two, at least, if not three other students with them spread out along the hose line, so that they can move that line efficiently through the building, working as a team. That's a huge concept that we reinforce all the time. Nothing gets done successfully on the fire ground as an individual. It's a team sport. And I know that Sue Patrick's going to talk to you a lot more about the importance of that concept of team. But we really reinforce that all the time, that there's nobody standing around on the fire ground. There's always work to be done. There's no hands in pockets. So at the end of the hallway, you can see they're going to open up again. The nozzle, they're gonna spray some water up at the ceiling and really cool that area before they finish putting that fire out. So that's what it looks like inside of our live fire, or what we call our hot tower, live fire tower, where we have multiple levels. There's multiple ways we can set up that tower and configure it so it's not the same every time, adding different experiences, different obstacles, different challenges every time. And certainly firefighting is one aspect of the job of that you want to pursue. It's probably the most exciting aspect of it. It's the one that we think of when we think of being a firefighter, because it's in the name. But there's lots of other things that we do here that a firefighter may find themselves in those types of situations any day on the job. So auto extrication, rope rescue, confined space rescue, medical training, all of the things that you could be expected to respond to and have to provide some type of mitigation for we cover in the span of your 1 year, and then a lot more in depth in the span of your 2nd year. One of the things we're adding to the 2nd year program this year coming up that's new to us is we have in the past offered a public educator level 1. We're going to expand that so that you're going to be able to write your public educator level 2 and your public information officer certification. So it's all about making you more well-rounded. There are certainly firefighters or students that come through our program that after the 1st year, they decide that maybe riding the trucks isn't for them, but they still want to be a part of the fire service. They still like the energy, the camaraderie, the family feel of the fire service. And this is another pathway that they can take in the public education, the fire prevention, the inspection, that side of it that still allows them to be a part of the job. The other aspect that we offer here that, as Andre pointed out, isn't offered anywhere else is your exposure to industrial props. The history of our facility is it started as an industrial firefighting training center here in Sarnia, and so we have those props and those permissions from the province to burn the products that we do in these props that are going to pay dividends for you as a firefighter down the road. Whether or not you have industrial facilities in the city you want to work in or chemical facilities in the city you work in, it doesn't matter, because you have roads and rail lines and rivers that all of these products are traveling up and down every day that you may have to mitigate an accident scene. So the next video that we took is a brief shot of one of our props in the industrial grounds that we have available to us. It's called a loading rack prop, and it simulates any kind of a fuel tanker truck in a loading rack. So it's filling up with its product, whether it's gasoline or diesel fuel or jet fuel, and a fire starts. And so this is what type of a situation you could be faced with as a firefighter in a municipal or an industrial department. And this is some pretty cool drone footage that we caught because we ran these fires at night for the first time for our fire science students, our 2nd year students. So it's something we're going to do going forward because it's really cool to see these props go off at night, and we kind of have the place to ourselves, which is nice because some days we can be a busy place. So this is some drone footage that we captured about a month ago with our fire science students as they fought industrial night fires. This first image is from what we call a 3-tier prop, and it mimics the industrial facilities. You'll see in the background of that video, you'll see some towers and some smokestacks in the background. Again, we started as a facility for those facilities to send their firefighters to and train. So that's sort of a small 3-tier prop fire that we ran. And then here's that loading rack fire that I talked about. So you can see behind the flames that truck, that tanker truck on fire. Our teams have positioned themselves and they're ready to start flowing water and cool that fire so that they can, the process is actually for them to put out the ground fire below and then move up those stairs and put out any fires that may be above that loading rack and the source of that fire where it is. So really fantastic footage we were able to capture. And again, this is not one prop. This is one of about 8 industrial props that we have in the back that we really dive into when we look at the components of NFPA 1081 in terms of industrial fire brigade training in the 2nd year of the program. But certainly even in the pre-service program, you get a taste of what some of these industrial props are all about, and the size and the scope of what these fires can involve in terms of you having to respond to them someday down the road as part of your career. So I think that we have certainly showcased really quickly what we have to offer as a facility here at the Lambton College Fire School at our campus. We're going to do some live training demonstrations for you with regards to some more structural type of firefighting programs and skills as the afternoon or the evening progresses here. But anytime you have questions, please fire them onto the chat. We have a vast social media presence. We have a Facebook page, Lambton College Fire School, for your moms and dads, because I know none of you probably have a Facebook page. We have an Instagram page. We have a Twitter, a Twitter feed. We even now have a TikTok feed. So check all those out. We're either under Lambton FS or Lambton Fire School. All of those will keep you up to date on what we're doing. We got some exciting stuff coming up. We have a really exciting event coming up in September, commemorating the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 event. So, follow us. It's a chance for, if you come here as a student in the fall, a chance for your friends and family to follow what you're doing, for you to kind of brag and tag yourself and stuff and say, this is what we're doing, while your friends are sitting in classes in a much more traditional learning environment. We're out here getting sweaty and dirty and doing skills and fireground activities that are as close to the real thing as we can get. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys in September.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Scott. Really appreciate that overview. And it was really cool to see the night fires, especially something, the facilities are amazing. So thanks so much for that overview. And we'll see you a little bit later on in action with our students outside as well. Perfect. So we are back and we're going to be continuing the campus tour. So we're going to go back to Andre, who's just outside right now, and he's going to walk you through our fire grounds. So Andre, take it away.
Thank you, Professor Brown, for that great showing of what we can do here at the fire school. Sorry we lost you guys when we went into the gear room earlier. Apparently that's not a Wi-Fi friendly area. So we're finding ourselves outside. We're going to take a walk around. But yeah, I've been here 8 years now, and when I see footage like that Mr. Brown just showed you, that still excites me, because it's such a unique thing that we do that nobody in this country can do. Not across Canada that they can replicate a fire like the fires we do. So that's pretty wild for our fire science students to be able to take part in. So we're gonna take a walk around. Right behind me is one of our brand new donated trucks from a shout out to the municipality of Brook Albinston. We just got it a couple of months ago, and she's a beauty, and our students are using it to learn on it. It's fully equipped like a normal fire truck, and so you're getting the full experience. So this is outside the what we call the apparatus bay. So this, it replicates a typical fire hall. You'll see that what comes here it'll be very similar to what you'll find when you get a job in a fire department. It has the bays and the vehicles and the equipment, and it's got all the the air packs and the CBAs and all that, all the cool equipment that you need to do the job properly. And we've got most of our equipment is pretty new. Like we renew it on a regular basis, and we maintain it very well. So our students get a great experience. Back here we've got what we call our towers, our hot towers. The first one here to the right, and this is a fairly new building, and that's where the students go in and put out the fire. So those fires that Mr. Brown was showing you, they were in that tower. It's 3 stories, and fires can occur anywhere in that tower, including a basement. Behind it, there's another fire truck, and what we call the search and rescue tower. And our students are getting ready to do the demo for you. They'll be going up on a couple stories and rescuing a mannequin from one of the windows. And again, it's another one of our fire trucks that's been donated from one of our partners, and I think that was from the city of Sarnia, actually. And then you can see the rest of we've got our confined space tank over here. We've got our fire truck. We've got our hazmat trailer. We've got our storage areas. So we're quite equipped. And this is great, is that you're at Lambton College. You're not having to drive off to some other fire department. You're at your college. Nobody else has this. We have our own dedicated fire school campus, and it's amazing. We're just going to give you a quick view of the fire grounds, the industrial fire grounds that Mr. Brown was showing. It's a little bit long to walk, so we'll just kind of take it from this perspective, but just kind of show you everything that we've got going on over here. So in behind the towers, you can see all the props. We've got a rail car, we've got a storage tank, we've got the 3-tier prop, we've got the loading dock rack, we've got a process area, we've got overturned tankers over there. So it's all on the ground. We've got 11 acres right here of training grounds that our second-year students experience when they do the industrial training piece. there's a lot to show in a limited time, so we'll just we'll wrap it up at that for our tour, and I think we'll pass it on now to either Professor Patrick or Professor Brown. I'm not sure who's next, but thanks for joining me, and we'll see you at the end for the questions and answers.
Hello, welcome back. Thank you, Andre, for the tour of the fire facility. You are going to see more of our students in action in just a few minutes with Scott overseeing that as well. So we're excited to bring you back out to the fire ground in just a few minutes. But before we do that, I do want to introduce you to another key member of our fire team, and that is Sue Patrick. So she is one of our fitness instructors. And as Trace mentioned earlier, fitness is definitely a key part of the fire service. Being a firefighter, you obviously need to be physically fit. So we have Sue Patrick, who is helps our fire students remain physically fit inside of our program. And she's also a coach for our FireFit team as well. So she's going to talk to you a little bit about what the FireFit group, FireFit team is about and what they do. We've seen a number of our teams go to different championships and win various medals, including a world, I believe it's a world championship title or something like that. And I'm sure she will tell you all about Ian Van Reenen, one of our graduates. So Sue, take it away.
All right. Thanks a lot, Sean. Yeah, this is another really unique aspect of the Lambton College Fire Science program and pre-service as well. We have one of the only colleges in probably North America that fully supports full competition at the FireFit Championships, which is the Canadian arena that we compete in, and also on the world stage. So I have taken 4 teams now to the World Championships, and every year since 2013 to the Canadian Championships. So let me just back it up a little bit, tell you a little bit about what FireFit is. I think we have a video to show. I'm not sure if it's ready to roll. If it is, we'll put that up. Okay, go ahead.
This year, it's unbelievable how many new faces have joined. So everyone's just getting fitter, faster, stronger.
It's so fun. I mean, there's people bringing text messages going, oh, you better watch out for her, you better watch out for her. It's bringing the sport up, the popularity's there, and I love it.
It's Amber Bowman up against the clock. 2:01 is the world record. She might actually break 2 minutes. 1:58.40.
I dream it. I'm believing it. That 2-minute marker, I mean, it's hung above my head for the last 4 years for sure. That would be my ultimate goal.
Winning's the best feeling in the world.
He thought when he started this, he could go 110. Is he on world record pace?
I mean, nothing will ever match that. I mean, you don't come out here to gain notoriety or anything. But when you do win, it's absolutely the best feeling in the world.
Well, look at these guys are dragging this 175 pounds like it's nothing. They're heading for that finish line. Watch the clock.
He will have the fastest time of the day.
It's an individual sport at the time, but it's what you put in as a team, right? And we trained hard as a team, pushing each other and trying to get better and better. So we're always together. So winning it for them and winning it with them is the best feeling in the world.
One of the things is you will see us all cheering for that competitor on the course. It's not like any other event where it's somebody against somebody. We cheer because we want to see everybody do PBs, do their best. It's not that we want to win because somebody trips, falls, or has a mistake. It's that we just trained a little harder, did a little more, and we had more energy that day. It's a family, it's a wonderful thing for the fire service. It shows again what firefighting is about: commitment, dedication, perseverance, tackling the toughest obstacles, and just giving it your all. It's wonderful to show the public what it is that we do.
Well, that is giving you a little bit of an idea of what the competitive side of being a firefighter can be. As I mentioned, we look at those different people that were involved just in that one video. 30% of them are full-time firefighters competing, and they're Lambton College graduates. We have some of the fastest firefighters in Canada, and we have one of the fastest in the world. So in 2013, just to go back a little bit, Ian Van Reenen was a student in the Fire Science Technology program, and in his third year, at that point we were a three-year program, Ian and his team, we went to Las Vegas, Nevada, and competed in the World Championships, where he became the 9th fastest firefighter in the world as a student. And the men's relay that year ended up winning the relay championship. And if you want, you can Google it. You'll find Lambton College at the Las Vegas 2013 championships. The final race of the day on ESPN is Lambton College competing and winning. Since then, we've gone on. 3 of our women have competed as Team Canada, sort of a team of the best women in Canada at the World Championships. All 3 of those women came back world champions. We've also in Canada, we win tons of our regional competitions. We have medals in every single regional that we've been in, and multiple medals. We always go on to the national championships, where we've had a lot of silver, a lot of bronze, but we've also brought home the women's in 2019, the women's relay championship. We won the gold, as well as in 2017, our team finished up in first place, and for the first time in a mixed relay, which is kind of an up and coming area of the FireFit competition. So just like you would on the job, you're going to work with men and women. They are now doing combined teams to compete as well. So we've been very successful. We have some of the best firefighters, fastest firefighters out there in Canada and the world. And you coming into this program will have an opportunity to be a part of that team. We are a full varsity team. We get fully supported by Lambton College, all of the travel, all of the hotels. We fly across the country. We fly into the US. It's all covered by the college through athletics. So it's a really great opportunity. We've been shut down the last 2 years. This summer, we would have been hosting for the 3rd time a regional event. And then in 2023, we are going to host the Canadian Championships here at Lambton College. So some excitement there, but you guys can be a big part of it if you want to get involved. As Trace pointed out earlier, come in fit. It's one of the most, just for your classes alone, it's very important. Firefighters, have to be fitter than any other civilian. The testing to become a firefighter is the most intense of any civilian job. So it's really important that you start now. Our FireFit team will get you as fit as you possibly can be. It is one of the best methods for firefighters to stay healthy on the job and to be able to take the strenuous nature of the job. So I welcome all of you. Hopefully I'll see you in class in September, and we'll start talking about our training preparation and get you ready for the summer, because we compete in the summer of 2022. All right, take care. Can I add one more thing? We are on Instagram. So if you want to check out our team's successes, Lambton College FireFit, come in and follow us and let us know that you're coming into the fire science program. We'd love to get the heads up on that. So thanks a lot. Take care.
Thanks, Sue. Awesome explanation of the FireFit team, the pride of the fire school. Absolutely. Got 5 of our graduating students here with us for actual demonstrations of some of the skills they've learned this year. Well, I want them to introduce themselves first before we talk about what they're going to show you.
Hi, I'm Juliana. I'm from Woodstock, Ontario.
I'm Corbin. I'm from Mildly, Ontario.
I'm Alicia from Ancaster, Ontario.
Hello, I'm Matthew. I moved here from Toronto to come to the second-year program.
I'm Trace. I'm from Calgary, Alberta.
So a wide cross-section of students coming from across Canada, really, which is fantastic. Some of the skills that we work on leading into their lives, it's truly Canadian. leading into the live fires that we get the students to partake in are really critical skills on the fire ground. Things that we want them to have down pat before we even give them a complicated scenario or multiple complicated scenarios to manage on the fire ground. The first one that Matt and Trace are going to show you is what we call forcible entry. So this prop simulates a locked door that we can often find on arrival as firefighters. And we need to access that door so that our fire crews can make entry into that building and determine if there's actually a fire or put the fire out. So this is called an inward swing conventional forcible entry. First thing we do is we try before we fly to make sure that that doorknob isn't actually unlocked. And then they're going to use these tools, which is called a Halligan tool and a flathead axe. And together they call them the irons. Use the irons to force that door. That door is open now. What Trace will do is close the door and control it with his tools because we don't want to give that fire any more air than it has. While it already has, keep it in check while we get the water supply ready to go, and these firefighters would mask up and then move in on that fire. On the other side over here, we have our truck set up. Corbin, along with Alicia and Jules, are going to perform what's called a vent enter search or a targeted search, a window-based search. It goes by a lot of different names. And basically, they're going to set the ladder to the windowsill. They're going to smash out the window and make entry into that room to perform a primary search for a victim that may be in that room. They're going to set the ladder just below the windowsill. Now they're going to mask up. Alicia's going to be our firefighter that's going to actually go up the ladder, open it up, smash out the window and go in. This window prop is new to us this year. It's been a fantastic addition to our fire ground. It's really added a lot of realism to the scenarios that we're able to give the students. Once Alicia takes out the window with her tool, she's going to clear out the sash in the window. She's going to, what we call, sound the floor, make sure the floor just inside that window is sturdy enough for her to enter the room. When she does that, her partner, Jules, is going to stay at the window, help orient Alicia to where the window is because you can see how smoky it is inside that room. She's going to perform a quick primary search looking for any victims. If she finds a victim, she's going to pass that victim out to her partner waiting at the window, and she's going to bring that victim down the ladder. We always have firefighter heeling the ladder or footing the ladder, so that's going to be their engineer's job, and playing the role of the engineer today is Corbin for us. So they are masking up, getting on air so they can make entry into that room safely, fully protected from the smoke that's inside the room. She's at the top. You can open the shutters. She's got heavy smoke emissions inside the room. She's now going to smash up the window. She's taking out the sash as well. She's moving in. She's going to sound the floor to make sure that she got a good floor that she can dive into that's safe. Once she does that, she's going to dive in. In she goes. Jules is going to go up to the windowsill now so she can, again, orient Alicia to where the window is. Again, when Alicia's in there, her number one priority, if there's a door to that room, is to close that door and isolate that room from the rest of the building, not make that a pathway for that fire, what we call a flow path, to come up and head towards them. So she's going to isolate the room, close the chimney basically. Alicia's found the victim. She's passed the victim out to her partner. Smoke's cleared a little bit. You can see the window frame. Jules is going to bring that patient down. Alicia's going to finish searching the room, make sure there's nobody else in there. Jules is going to pass the patient off to her teammates on the ground. Alicia's exiting the window now. Primary search of that room is complete. While she's doing this, there would be an attack team that would be moving a hose line into the building, searching for and extinguishing the fire elsewhere in the building. Alicia's reaching in, grabbing her tool. And that completes an evolution of what we call vent, enter, isolate, and search. Those are just basically the steps that they perform. That's a second year skill, but certainly first year we're using that prop. Anytime we're using the ladder to simulate taking out windows and making these scenarios that we're using out here and teaching out here with our students as realistic as possible. Hope you like what you saw. You can be a part of this too. Hopefully we see you guys in September.
That's you in case there's any questions. All right, thanks so much. That was a really great to see our students in action. As you got to see our amazing fire facility, you learned so much about our fire programs over the last hour. And as you can see, there's a lot to our fire programming, but without question, our fire programs are the best in the province, if not the country. So if you're looking at fire sciences or fire services as a career, definitely look at Lambton College. We have the two programs you would need, the pre-service to get things started, and then the fire science technology as a postgraduate opportunity as well. So to close things off, before we say goodnight for the evening, I just want to see if there's any questions that have come in. So I will take a quick second and see if there's any questions from Eric. No questions. So we did an excellent job at answering anybody's questions that they might have. So that's awesome. I do want to take a moment to thank everyone at the fire school for their time tonight and everything that they've showcased. And then Andre, again, thank you for opening it up for us this evening. It was really great to show it off.
Thanks, Sean, for your help, and thanks to the students for coming in after hours and help demonstrate what we do here. Again, you know, we can't emphasize how different our program is. I can't emphasize that enough. It's like none other. Really, there's not even a close second. So if you're thinking about becoming a firefighter, this is the place to start.
Absolutely. So last few updates from me to you. First of all, thank you for joining us this evening. Second of all, if you have an active offer to either program, definitely look at confirming sooner rather than later, just so you can lock your spot in for September. And then the other benefit right now is we are doing a second tuition giveaway. So anybody that attends one of these events and confirms their offer by May 31st could be entered to win free tuition from us. So definitely, if you're thinking about Lambton College, if you're thinking about fire sciences or fire service, again, confirm your offer today so you can get prepared for the fall and be able to attend at our fire school and utilize all of this amazing facility. So again, thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to anybody on our team. We're more than happy to answer any additional questions that you may have. But again, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see everyone in September.